Good morning, everyone. My name is Amanda Britting. I consider myself to be a self-educated student at law. I don't share legal information. I'm just sharing my own research and where I get my research from and how I support my conclusions with evidence. And when I can, I'm starting to show how I personally apply the law. Again, none of it's meant to be construed as legal advice. It's just showing the evidence so I can hopefully help other Canadians learn how the law is meant to be used, how the law is meant to be applied. One of the big things that I see going on right now, and what this video is about, is just about perspective. There's a lot happening on the world stage. There's a lot happening on the federal stage. There's a lot happening on the provincial stage. Uh, and and notice the terminology stage. It is a stage, okay? It's a show. Yeah, they may be making rules and decisions up here, but it's not up here that they're doing the enforcement. It's down here at the local level that they're doing the enforcement. People who get charged for not wearing a mask, they're being charged by bylaw officers and public health inspectors. People who are getting charged for opening their restaurants, they're getting charged by public health inspectors. It's not the people up here that are enforcing the laws. They might create the laws, but without the people down here to do the enforcement, they don't have a chance. So what's happening? We see this going on the world stage, and once you're awake, how's all this going to help you? How's it? It's not. From my perspective, knowing once you're awake, once you're aware of what's going on in the big picture, paying attention to what's going on the big stage is not going to help you down here. What's going to help you down here is understanding how the law is meant to be construed and how the law is meant to be applied, because this is where the illusion first needs to dissolve at the grassroots. And I say illusion because, as I've already demonstrated in one of my other videos, the Ontario Court of Justice is a really good example. We'll sit there and tell you you can't even record your own hearing, but when you read the rule, you actually can record your own hearing. They interpret the law, and when they interpret the law, they paraphrase it, which means they're changing the order, they change the punctuation, and they may even add some words in there to misconstrue and misapply the meaning. When you read it and you understand it, you can demonstrate to them that you know it, and you hold them to construing and applying the law as it is meant to be written, as it is written and meant to be construed and applied. Interpretation means to change the language. We're not looking to change the language. How it's written is how it's to be construed and applied, and that is paramount to understanding. So what's happening at the local level is they've just become so complacent at breaking the rules that they don't even they just take it for granted. Now, I will state that I do think there are a lot of people, because remember, a lot of these people who are operating at the lower level, they have the same lack of education that you and I do. They have not been taught the Constitution. They have not been taught the proper application of law, or even how to properly read law. None of us have been taught this, so why would we necessarily expect any better from them if we don't know it? People who we elect to represent us at government, these representatives, the large majority of them, again, they act on the same ignorance as the rest of us. They don't understand how anything about our Constitution Act of 1867. That's the Constitution, that's the supreme law of Canada. So they don't know anything about the Constitution Act of 1867, and they don't know how law is meant to be read, how once read, how it's to be construed, and how it's to be applied. So the sooner we learn this, the sooner we can hold them to account in the courts, the sooner we can hold them to account in the streets when we're protesting. Now, in the streets, it doesn't mean you're not going to get a ticket, but now you've done your due diligence and you've educated them. If you know it, you can educate them. And once you're able to explain it to someone else, you become a master of it. So I encourage people to discuss and have these dialogues and challenge each other and try and explain it to others, because the more you talk about it, the more you try to explain it, the easier, the more you master the understanding. So if you ever have to do it before a court of law, you can. So going back, what I'm finding in the courts is the moment I start to challenge them in the courts, and again, I've done some videos, I've shared the emails where I've kind of gotten a little bit cheeky, because I'm just getting, I'm at a point where it's like, guys, I'm done with the games. I'm done with the games. Let's just cut to the chase here. They are not, they're backing down. They want right now there's an illusion of an administration of justice, and every time they break a rule and they don't follow the rule the way it was written, and it's not being construed and applied the way it was written, they're breaking the law. They are actually breaking the law. Now, it's not about us calling out the criminal code in Canada at this point, not to say we won't do it down the road, but right now it's about educating them and letting them know that we know how the law is meant to be construed. We understand how the law is meant to be applied, holding their feet to the fire of that. Because the moment we do, one of two things is going to happen. Either they're going to back down, okay, and they will follow the law because they want the trust of the public, or they're not going to back down, and then we truly know where we stand in this country. Because if they don't back down and they go, okay, you've seen through the illusion, and guess what, we're still going to enforce, then we know. But we have to be smart about this, and we have to educate ourselves. And what I'm seeing in the courts right now is, at least with the mini wins that I've been having, is that they are backing down. Now I'm pushing it through a little bit harder because I've put one Crown attorney onto complaint. I'm going to be putting another Crown attorney onto a complaint soon. And I also have to write up some complaints against a couple of justices of the peace, and some complaints against a justice, one justice, which is a judge. And the reason why is, and again, the intent behind this is I'm not looking to go out there and punish everyone. I'm doing my best to educate them and telling them to follow the rules. And if they don't follow the rules, then I'm going to issue complaints against them. Remember when the whole lockdown started? What they did is they went out and they issued fines and tickets to set an example to everyone else. They threatened and bullied a handful of people to set an example for everyone else, to scare them into compliance. All I'm doing is filing these complaints, which is a very similar process in the sense that, you know, if they are found, they could have to go for re-education, they could be fined, or they could lose their license altogether. I'm very serious about what I'm doing. And you know, I have, with the case of the one Crown attorney, a file has been opened and the case has been assigned to somebody. So what's going to happen? I have no idea, but I have filed complaints against the Crown attorney, and that Crown attorney, what they don't know is we have more complaints to file yet. And it's just a matter of timing. And timing, it's me writing up the documentation. But when we get this documentation written up, we will submit, we will continue to add the level of complaints, with the intent that if these people, after warning, are not going to abide by the written law, the rules of the court being the law, then that's fine. We're going to file complaints against them and potentially seek to have them fined, and they may call us bullies and whatnot, but no, all we're doing is holding them to account. And we're doing it to set an example, and with the intention of getting everyone, we're going to scare them straight. We're going to scare them straight and make them follow the law. That's the plan. So where they try to scare people into compliance, we're trying to scare them into following the law. And again, I don't think that the courts intend, when you call them out like this, I have hope and I have belief that the courts will abide by the law. Once you demonstrate, that's what I'm seeing at the moment. Once you start to demonstrate, you know, then they are starting to correct their behavior, at least where I'm involved. And that's a good thing. I'm not the only one who's doing it right now. And we're going to start trying to get some of these examples of the applications we've actually done uploaded. I do try and put some of them up on my Telegram channel. But I think I'll probably also soon start a website, so I can start uploading these examples, again, not to be construed as legal advice, just so people, it's just part of the learning curve. I'm going to explain something to you. I'll show you the evidence, but now you can see how I'm applying it. So it kind of makes sense for everybody else. And then you can take that education and do with it what you want. If you have any questions, come to my Telegram channel. I do try and answer any questions that are put into my Zoom links, but I do believe that the sooner we learn how law is meant to be construed and applied, the sooner we get through this, the sooner we end this, because it's at the grassroots level, it's all being enforced, and it's at the grassroots level, it's gotta end. They're just following orders, and we gotta show them that they lawfully can't just follow these orders. Thanks very much. If you find the content of this site beneficial, please like, subscribe, and share. Help me get the information out there. You don't even have to share it. You don't have to share my videos either. If you can explain it, if you can do, if you can explain it so other people can understand, by all means, take it, run with it. It doesn't have to be me. I don't care if it's me. Just get the information out there. Thanks so much.